October 14th, Saturday, 2023. And I believe I'll be making the executive decision to return to the gray gym today. I'm gonna be honest, it's looking a little bit grim for the old green gym. While I did enjoy how green it is, because, sometimes it is nice to go to a colorful gym, like literally colorful. Like if it has more color, it's kind of nice to look at, right? But the more I think about it, maybe it's also, maybe I'm in the, what do they call it? The honeymoon phase, where people, they have that kind of like that extra positive outlook on things because it's a new experience. And that might be what I'm feeling right now at the old gray gym right now, because I'm thinking, are there any machines that I maybe missed yesterday? And even yesterday, while I was at that gym yesterday, I kept thinking, maybe I'll do some days at the green gym, some days at the gray gym, because, they both have their pros and cons. But then the more I thought about it, I think there's just more pros in general for the gray gym right now, just because there is a lot more equipment, especially for lifting. The one positive I can maybe say is I think the green gym has better cardio equipment because some of them have TV screens, and I can, be extra stimulated while I'm running by going, oh, what's going on ESPN? Or one thing I always notice is at the green gym, they're always playing a tennis TV channel for some reason. And then with my background of actually playing tennis, I do enjoy watching it occasionally, where like I'll be doing my 30 minutes of cardio and then I'll look up and think, hey, that guy had a pretty cool point right there. And I'll nod my head in approval or disapproval if somebody just lost a point or won a point. But in terms of the lifting aspect, I'm thinking green gym might be no more. I'm thinking green gym might actually be canceled, actually. But I'm not going to cancel it yet. I still have, I paid for this month of October, so I still want to, I don't want to cancel and lose out on the benefits of that. But even today, I really debated going to the green gym for arms, because I know they have my tried and true dip machine, whether that be the assisted dip or the actual tricep dip machine. And I think they have two of them also, so I have options. So I think I only saw one at the gray gym, or should I call it the silver gym? But I think I'm going to get a little bit even more experimental today, because I think generally speaking, I know I keep saying, oh, I'm getting experimental, I'm getting wacky with the workout today, but I am finding a lot of success so far. But again, not actual success, just what it feels right. Because I've been trying to reduce my sets as much as possible. I'm not even thinking yesterday's back workout, where technically I did a total of 10 sets in total for the back only, not including the 4 extra sets I did for the rear delts. But I think 10 sets, which was divided up into 6 sets of lat-oriented stuff, and then 4 sets of upper mid-back, or basically it was just this. It was 2 sets or 4 sets of vertical pull-downs, 2 set or 4, why do I keep saying 2 sets? I keep thinking of 2 sets because I did 2 different exercises twice. So I kept thinking 2, but in reality I should be thinking 4. 4 sets of some sort of pull-down, 4 sets of rows, and then 2 sets of pullovers. But I guess could you still consider that a pull down, because you're technically still kind of pulling down? So maybe I actually scratched that. I did 6 sets of pull down movements and then 4 sets of rows, which I feel like is a pretty good mix to build the upper back. But now I'm thinking, should I decrease the number of pull downs, or should I actually increase the number of rows so I can match it with 6 for a total of 12 sets for the back? Is that too much? Is that too little? I don't know yet right now. That's the constant struggle, where I'm just like, what do I do with the sets? And you could say like, oh, just do what feels right for you. Yesterday's workout did feel nice, but the only problem that I have with, in terms of, muscular hypertrophy or bodybuilding in general, is that you can't really see the fruits of your labor immediately. Like, there's a little bit of leeway where, like, even to see a minor amount of progress, it probably takes a week. Actually, probably not even a week. You probably won't see actual visible progress, even if like everything were to go at maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So what I'm doing right now, I have to see it later in 2 or 3 weeks and see if there's even any visible progress. Because 2 or 3 weeks, that's still like a wishful thinking at that point, where like Maybe in like a cutting context, you might be able to see a little bit more because you are getting more defined as the weeks go by within a calorie deficit. But in a bulking context, am I really going to tell that I got bigger in 2 or 3 weeks other than maybe checking the scale? Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but that's the journey so far because I don't know of what I'm doing specifically right now. And it's this constant battle where I'm just like, am I right? Am I wrong? Who knows? I just missed this light because that car didn't want to go fast enough. But I will say yesterday, one thing I did add in after 6 months, maybe even more, I'm not doing it. I added in some abdominal exercises to the routine yesterday. And could I weasel by? Yeah, I can weasel by. That guy's not going to go for that turn. But I added in abdominal exercises for the first time in months yesterday. And my abdominal region right now is actually quite sore. And I think I found a pretty decent machine to do it. Like, I know you don't necessarily need a machine to do ab exercises, but I think I'm going to start treating my abs as like an actual muscle group now, where I'm going to take it to failure and I'm going to try and also progressively overload. I said all the hype words, all the buzzwords for the fitness industry, right? Training to failure, progressive overload. What else could I say? Range of motion, reps in reserve. That's all I can think about right now. But I started out with the 20-pound crunch machine. I don't really know what to call it because a lot of the machines at the Silver Gym have a really funny name where it says MTS Abdominal Crunch Machine. I don't know what MTS stands for, but whatever that stands for, it actually kind of got me hopeful because I think I did 4 sets of 15 with the 20-pound, which now I'm thinking, if I just treat it like any other muscle group, I can probably just get away with like doing heavier 6 to 8 rep range once again, and then progressively overloading from that as well. So it's making, and I think I put it on my back days because I feel like I don't want my abs to be sore on leg day because I feel like a lot of leg exercises require you to brace your core, or at least I do. Like, for example, RDLs, I brace my core before I go down because before, when I didn't brace my core doing RDLs, I would hurt my lower back and I'd be out of commission for like a couple days, maybe sometimes even a week. And I don't want that to happen again. And especially a lot of like squat movements too. Maybe I won't. Oh, gotta catch this light. Woo! All right, light has been cut. Crash has been avoided. And I'm feeling good. Look at the ethereal lighting that I'm in right now. Am I even recording? Yes, I am. Okay. For a second, I thought I really was a truly, truly crazy person where I just talked for 8 minutes just to myself. But even if I wasn't recording, I feel I'd be pretty happy getting these thoughts out because would I feel a little bit embarrassed that I talked to essentially nobody, not even myself, to the future? Yeah, a little bit, but even just me, like, I know I can just have these thoughts in my head, but saying it out loud, there's like an extra layer of brain activity where like I'm acknowledging it more now, if that makes sense. Where like, if I were to just think it, I might forget about it because I go, oh, is this like, a second thought that I had in the back of my mind? But now, since I'm making that second thought in the back of my mind a primary thought, and I'm also using the extra brain power to actually say it out loud, I'm going to remember it more. And then I'm going to like really hone in on that thought where I think, what is the number of sets that I want to do? And where do I want to add in different body parts throughout the day? But I think right now I'm going to call it back and abs now. Or technically speaking, back, abs, and rear deltoids. Which maybe I do cut down on the amount of sets for back because then the only thing I just don't like is I don't want to be at the gym for like 2 to 3 hours. Is it because I don't like being at the gym for 2 to 3 hours? No. As I said, I still find it extremely fun being there, but there is a life outside of the gym because, I'm not a professional bodybuilder. My life isn't building muscle mass at the gym. It's a hobby. And if I have a hobby, I need to make sure that I find that right life, like that work and hobby life balance where like the hobby doesn't consume my life. Because if the hobby consumes my life, then that means I probably need to find a way to monetize it. And if I'm not able to monetize it, I'll probably get stressed and end up hating the hobby because of it. And I don't want to hate this hobby. As I said, I really want to, because what was it? I remember, I think Osprey, they wrote a comment saying, it was something along the lines of like, I'm working 10 sets into the future, which again, It made me smile thinking about that comment, because that is the mindset that I want to keep upholding with life and fitness, because I don't want this to be a year thing and then I give up a year later. I want this to be a lifelong commitment because I find joy in it, and it comes with the added benefit that I'm technically going to be healthier because of it. And it's still weird, like at the 10-minute mark, I'm always like, I have like a mental note now where I'm like, oh, if I drive 10 minutes, I'm at the green gym. But since I'm literally looking at the green gym right now, yet I'm going to drive right past it today, it does feel a little bit funny, actually. The only thing I don't like about the Silver Gym so far is I've been a member for quite literally 1 day now, and I've already gotten 3 calls from this gym saying, hey, did you know your membership comes with a free personal training? And then the first 2 callers, like the first 2 personal trainers, they were pretty polite about it. Just say, hey, I'm not interested. Like, I didn't want to be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Because, you know, technically speaking, I don't. Like, I'm still learning along the way. But I have a rough idea what I want to do now. And the things they were offering weren't really things I was interested in. They're like, oh, do you want to do endurance training? I'm like, no, I'm not really looking to run a marathon yet. Oh, you want to do high-intensity strength training? I'm like, no, that sounds really difficult. And I know technically working out should be difficult because you're, you know, progressively overloading. Oh, I said the word again. But again, these are just things I'm not interested in at the time, because I like my current routine and I want to stick with it, because if I like my routine, I'm going to be more consistent with it. And if I'm more consistent with it, I'll see more growth overall because of it. But I remember I got a call this morning from one of the personal trainers, and it really rubbed me the wrong way, because it felt like he was being pretty slimy and scummy about it. He's like, hey, did you know, you ever see people go to the gym and they don't look good? I'm like, come on, man. We're all going to the gym because, you know, we all have that ounce of hope that we're all going to look a little bit better. But imagine a random personal trainer at the gym talking shit about your progress. Thing is, could you be more efficient? Yeah. Could you be more optimal about how you train and a little bit more motivated? Yeah. But we're all in this adventure, just trying to get a little bit better each time. And just to hear a personal trainer say, yeah, you know, like, it's all about the workout routine, you know, because if you do what I do, you're gonna look good. But if you don't do what I do, you're gonna look bad. And you don't want the people at the gym to think you look bad, right? And at that point, I was just like, hey, I'm actually really busy right now, so I'm gonna hang up. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's all good, man. But like, as I said, like, that really, I did not like hearing that. I was not happy hearing that, especially from a personal trainer. Because, like, if you're a personal trainer, shouldn't your whole entire thing, like, yeah, you should be personally training people, but shouldn't you also be looking out for them, for their best interests? And especially, should you not be, you know, talking shit about your potential clients? Or, like, is that his whole gimmick, that he makes people that he talked to feel guilty about themselves, and, like, he's like trying to guilt trip themselves into getting personal training by him? I didn't like that. I really did not like that, because as I said, like, working out should be fun. You should not have anxiety inducing attacks when you go to the gym because you're worried about how you're perceived to other people. And what is this personal trainer doing at the gym? He's perceiving other people in a negative outlook. And if I heard that about me, I feel pretty bad. I probably wouldn't even want to go to the gym if I heard that about myself. Or I'm just like, oh, the people there think I look bad and I don't deserve to be at the gym because my workout routine is whack. I think I'll quit the gym and never go back again, which should not be the case. Like, as I said, like, we should be, I'm not even gonna say everybody should be, if they like going to the gym, or at least maybe if they don't even like it yet, maybe they just want to make the self-improvement to go to the gym. You should be going because you want to go and that you feel safe at the gym. And I know there's this whole, you know, gym culture, just like, oh, if you're not gonna put in 140% at the gym, you should, why are you there hogging up the machine? Do I get annoyed occasionally when I do see people on their phones using a machine and not using it? Yeah. But still, I understand the fact that, you know, they're here. They paid for a gym membership too. Oh my God, that person's in my lane. Woo. Maybe that's the personal trainer that I had beef with, because that person was very much, quite a foot over, but they were quite a ways into my lane. And if I didn't notice that, we could have had a slight little collision, perhaps. Make sure that when you're at a stop sign that you look at every single direction before you make your move. Alright, it is now 1:21 on a Saturday. A little bit later than what I usually like going to, because I think my specific sweet spot that I like going to the gym is around 11 o'clock, where that's where I personally find it the least busiest. And I also don't know about this gym's busy hours, so for all I know, I could be going in at their rush hour right now and I could have a miserable experience. But again, is my miserable experience enough to make it so that I'm going to make it miserable for all the other people here? No. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to let others do theirs. And I'm just going to care about myself and how much I progress. And that car is coming in. Ooh, I'm seeing some very wacky what the hell? Okay, again, you can't see the things I'm seeing, right? But that car just came around that corner, and this is like a mall parking lot. What looked like to be about 40 miles per hour on a turn that you should be going around 15, preferably. And then I look in the driver's seat, and it is an older lady with an even older man as a passenger. I hope this car doesn't mind that I'm parking right next. Actually, I'm gonna do the wacky thing and just pull through. Check my parking job real quick. Am I in the lines? Yes, I am. Park, a 16-minute commute. Another 6 minutes added to the original. But triceps, biceps, and maybe I'll add in calves today so I don't have to do them for legs tomorrow, so I can just focus on hamstring and quads. So I think I want to do dips for my starting movement today. adjustment down. So I'm going to keep this in line with my arms. So it's like, yeah, like that. After that set, I'm taking the preemptive decision to lower the weight and focus more on my form. I could do one more set of those. I think I'm gonna do a rope as a finisher. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna actually do these as my finishers. Concludes tricep for today. Oh my god. I don't know if I consider today the best arm workout that I have, but there's definitely bits and pieces. I definitely like. Let's just see what we're working with right now. Let's see if there's anything even worth mentioning. Triceps. Biceps are, I think, maybe because they're actually pumped right now, but they actually look like they can match the shoulder peak. Ooh. I'm not too dissatisfied with that. And the reason I'm being a little bit extra critical right now is that I do have some gripes about today's arm workout, where I think I'm starting to figure out what my preferred rep range set range at least, is going to be for the old triceps. Today I try to think about so my mentality for triceps today was this. I wanted to try reducing that to also 6 sets to see if I can just match a majority of everything that I do into 6 sets. I'd be thinking, is 6 the magic number? Is 6 the magical hypertrophy number of the most optimal way to gain muscle? I have no clue. I don't have any credentials to say anything along the lines of that. But I have noticed that sometimes when I do something in a little bit higher volume of a set range versus me doing very focused and honed in, locked in sets in a lower amount, so for example 6 versus instead of doing 15 to 20 sets of a single muscular group, I feel like I'm getting, I don't know if I'm saying getting better gains from it, but I'm getting equal amounts. So if you look at the two, unless you really enjoy working out and you just really enjoy doing high volume, why not save myself some time and technically energy too, if you think about it, by doing a lower amount of sets, but just making sure that each set is beautiful, just absolutely wondrous. A sensational set each time where after I'm done, it's beautiful. But after I said that whole spiel, maybe I don't need to do 15 sets of triceps, but I think personally for me, in my current stage of life and in lifting, I think I need 8 sets to get a full tricep workout. So I know today I only did 3 tricep exercises, but what ended up happening was instead of doing my usual 2 of 4 exercises doing 2 sets each, I did 2 sets of dips, which I will say too, I might not cancel my green gym membership because I really like the assisted dip machine a lot better at the one there. I don't know what it is. It's the same mechanics, right? It looks different, but something just feels different when I do it. Maybe it's the handles, maybe it's the position. I don't know, but when I do my assisted dips at the green gym, after 2 sets, I am feeling already something going on in the tricep region. But after my 2 sets of dips on this gym's machine, I wasn't really feeling it that much, and I really try to be as mindful as possible of making sure that I was tricep focused in these dips, because I know you can also do dips to target, the lower region of the chest? It's some sort of chest exercise variant that you can do dips for as well. But I try to do the tricep more oriented version, which you kind of keep a straighter profile and kind of make sure you have a very strict arm path, if that makes sense. Your arm should make a pretty, I think it's a little bit, oh man, that just bummed my day. I just saw I just saw a dead raccoon on the sidewalk. Man, my day was going pretty well until I saw that, but that is the cycle of life. Unfortunately, that happens. And I know I'm going to be going from talking about a dead raccoon I just saw straight into, also my eye hurts. I hit my eye because the cable machine, the one that I did the X-Files one, has handles on it, but it doesn't have a carabiner on it to take off the handles. They're just tied onto it. So I swung the thing around and the handle hit me right in the right eye. I don't know if I actually caught that on video, but it kind of hurts actually. I think I'm going to go home and take my contacts off. I think that'll make myself feel a lot better. But again, going back to the entire, oh man, it's actually bugging me a lot now. I saw a dead raccoon, my eye hurts on the right eye. Maybe, was today's workout actually bad? It leaves a little bit more to be desired, especially in the tricep thing, because again, I liked my I guess I shouldn't call it my current because I didn't do it today, but my tricep mentality of I do 2 sets of dips, 2 sets of push downs, 2 sets of, what should I call them? The tricep X-Men? Yeah, I'll do that. The tricep X-Men. 2 sets of that, and then the tricep katana extension overhead, because I just like that name because it just sounds so funny. And then I remember afterwards, yeah, unlike the X-Men looking exercises, I would be dwindling a little bit in strength, but the stretch I would feel, especially with lower weight, was phenomenal. And I definitely felt like I got a more efficient tricep pump doing those exercises in that order, versus today where I basically had to add in drop sets or really start working on more strict form. Because even on the X-Men one, I watched a video where people said, or not people, it was actually one person. I think the guy's name is Tyler something. It's the guy that makes like funny faces, like at himself to show like what you're doing wrong in the gym. But he showed a thing like if you were to do that exercise, you want to keep the line, like the cable, as equal path with your arms. So I tried flaying my elbows out a little bit more, and like looking at myself in the recording definitely did help a lot too, to kind of match that form. And I definitely wasn't doing that for the first 2 sets. For the third one, I dropped the weight. I could consider it a drop set, or could I just consider it a lighter weight third set. I'm free. Let me out. Okay. Get into my little lane over here. Ooh, please see me, oncoming traffic truck. Thank goodness. He did see me. Okay. But after I did that, I definitely felt it more, but I couldn't tell if it was because I was doing better form or if because that was my 5th working set of the tricep exercise already. And then it happened again on the overhead too, where I did 2 sets and then I did a 3rd set in lower weight. So in the end, I still did 8 sets, which I feel like if I just did 8 sets with my original plan of 2, 2, 2, 2, I would probably felt a little bit better anyway, because, you know, I know that routine works, instead of going experimental today and realizing it didn't work as well as I expected, because in the end, I didn't even do 6 sets. I did 8. So what was the point of it? So could I be a little bit angry about that? Yes. But today's been a very valuable learning experience because I tried something out and I personally didn't like it. Does that mean that, you know, this is going to be the final answer to everything? No. There might be a time in my life where 6 sets all of a sudden feels better, or maybe, who knows, 4 sets, 10 sets, 12 sets? I don't know yet. But it's really reassuring now with the feeling that I can get, saying like, I know for a fact that 8 sets will work for me now. So my go-to arm routine workout now is going to be 8 sets of tricep exercises. They're split up into 4 different exercises with 2 sets each, and every single exercise, in a way, I don't know if they actually target a different part of the tricep, but they definitely all have a different motion. So I feel a little bit better, like that I'm doing a more varied amount of tricep exercises that way. Like it doesn't feel like I'm just doing push downs for 8 sets, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure like if you just do any exercise for multiple sets and you go hard each time, you know, push it to failure, you should probably see progress. Do I have the credentials to, you know, scientifically back that up? No, but I mean, I feel like a lot of the times exercise is always overcomplicated, especially with some people that, like, you know, for example, that personal trainer that called me today. They're like, if you don't do a specific workout routine, you're actually gonna die. I'm like, am I? Like, I haven't had the perfect exercise routine this past 10 months, but I mean, I like to still think I made some progress along the way. Like, not gonna lie, my arms didn't look like this in January, and you might be thinking, you know, there might still be people out there that, you know, make fun of me because, you know, it's me posting these on the internet. Eventually, I'm gonna get people that just don't like me because they don't like me. I could try convincing them to like me, but at the same time, like, why should I waste the effort in like, you know, ooh, I'm going. Man, I'm seeing some wacky drive. I don't know if it's just because, like, I'm more self-aware of it while I'm driving, but I've been seeing some lackadaisical drivers on the road recently, and I just, you know, you do your thing, but please don't hit my car. Because if they hit my car, that means I'm in my car. That means I get hit, which that is not optimal for muscle building, if you ask me, getting into a car accident. Can I squeeze through this gap? No, I can't. I could, but I don't want to. Because what if I can't make it? Then I just look like a fool in a tiny stuck space between a mailbox too. So what do? Even if somebody's behind me honking, going, hey, why aren't you going for the gap? I don't care. I'm going to sit here peacefully just talking to my little camera about my arm workout today. So again, to reiterate, I think my go-to rep range, or set range, I keep saying rep range, for triceps will be 8 sets. 8 sets will be my go-to for the time being until I feel like it is necessary to adjust it, because I either get too much, I don't want to say too much stimulation, because I feel like would that ever be a bad thing, getting too much stimulation to a muscle? Because aren't we, if in a hypertrophy context, don't I want as much stimulation as possible to my muscles? So maybe I should be aware of that. Instead of saying overstimulate, maybe if I'm finding myself over fatigued, I drop the amount of sets. Or if I feel myself feeling under fatigued and understimulated, maybe add in a couple more sets, or add in, what could I add in instead of just more sets? Because here's my one thing with more sets is that equals more time. And again, as I said, I don't hate being in the gym for hours, but there's other things I need to do in my life too, right? And the gym consumes my life, which, starts interfering with other aspects of my life. I'd like to think that's not a very healthy way to look at it. So maybe I could stricter form, heavier weight, maybe. Well, I mean, I don't want to say heavier weight, because my whole entire goal here is to slowly progress the weight up, so that, for example, today I actually PR'd, which I try to PR every time I go in, because I feel like my workout split frequency isn't that often. Like, in my current form and my current exhaustion rate, I can't find myself doing 2 body parts per week, especially since I'm doing, a 4-day split, which means if I were to do it 2 times a week, I would have to go in every single day. And when I tried one time, it was rough. I was getting really, really tired and sore. So I still think maybe after my 4-day split, depending on how I feel, 1 to 2 days of rest. Because I think 3 days of rest, I get a little bit antsy. But again, I can always adjust, right? And see what works for me in the end. But 8 sets of triceps, and I think even today I only did 6 sets of biceps technically, because I did 2 sets of the preacher curl machine, 2 sets, or I'll call it 3 sets. I did 2 normal sets of the rope hammer curls, and then on that second set I turned it into a drop set, so I called that another set in a way. And then I finished off with these cable, I don't really know what to call them, standing cables, strict form curls. Like, I feel like you can get wacky with the naming of some bicep curl variations. They're all curls in the end. There's no bicep non-curl exercises there, unless I have heard you can do underhanded pull downs or chin-ups as a bicep exercise. And maybe I should add that into the rotation as like my first go-to, like, heavier compound bicep movement. I actually should have tried that out today. That would have been good. But yeah, I only did 6 sets of biceps. And the thing too is, like, biceps is that one muscle where, like, I will do 2 sets and I feel fully pumped already. Like, could that be scientifically correct? I don't know yet. Could I be completely wrong as well? Yes. But I remember just doing those first 2 sets of the preacher curl machine, my biceps felt quite plump, quite voluptuous, if I want to get fancy with the word choice that I use. And I'm thinking, like, could I have ended the workout there? Probably not. Like, there probably was a little extra room for stimulation there. But I'm thinking, could I even drop it to like 4 really intense sets of biceps and call it a day too? Maybe. I don't know. And the reason too that I do try to prioritize my tricep is because if I want big looking arms, I can't just have big biceps. I need massive triceps, because I remember the one day I heard it in somebody else's video, but tri versus bi, tri being 3, bi versus 2, that's one more muscle that the tricep has technically. And I know, are they equal muscles to compare? Not really, but if you look at how your arm is formed, wouldn't you have bigger of wouldn't you want a bigger version of the one that has tri in it versus the one with bi in it, right? And if you look at a lot of people with big arms too, like, they got some meaty triceps. So big triceps are in the horizon, or at least I want them to be in the horizon. And big biceps are also in the horizon, but again, I kind of want to prioritize tricep because I feel like, everybody has a body part, or could be their entire body too, where they always think it could be better. And I know that goes into the whole realm of like body dysmorphia and like, being too harsh and critical on yourself, but I feel like I'm in a place where I can do it healthily, where I can say, I wish my triceps were bigger because I feel like my biceps overpower my triceps. Right? Well, again, I'm not asking you to like critique my physique right now. Those are my own personal observations, and I want big triceps. So I think, why not give them a little extra stimulus by doing 8 sets versus 6 sets? Because it basically happened again today anyway. Or could that be hurting my gains also? Like, should I actually just be doing 6 sets of biceps or triceps? Oh man, that guy just went a little bit faster. I could have gone for the yellow light too. Oh well. Oh man, my arms are actually feeling kind of sore after today. Usually I don't really feel it too much after an arm workout. Like I feel like obviously the next day. Actually, I will say out of all the workouts and the muscle groups that I work out, maybe it's because they're smaller muscles, but triceps and biceps never feel too sore the next day compared to things like quads and chest. Quads and chest, I feel like, are the two muscle groups where after I do like a pretty intense workout the day before, they are so sore the next day. And I feel like everybody can relate with the whole legs being jello after an exhilarating leg day. I hate... Oh, wait, I think I have... Oh my god. I hate this turn so much. It's a blinking yellow light, which means I can go when there's no cars, but it has 2 lanes, so it's always that weird dilemma where like I could go, but what if that one car in the other lane starts speeding up to catch their yellow light and they just T-bone right into me? And the thing too is I always gotta acknowledge how dangerous driving is because, I'm literally driving. How much do cars weigh? Like 2, 3, 4, 5,000 pounds. And if another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 pound car hits me, it's probably not gonna feel too pleasant if I'm being honest. But just to recap today, arms have been hit. Personal trainer made me a little bit angry with how we worded things on the phone call this morning. But I've never been so excited to hit legs before, and that's one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about. Is my legs are still a little bit sore today. Like I walked around and I could still do my 30 minutes of cardio, and it's nothing like so sore where it's like debilitating to anything I do, but I definitely don't want to work on a muscle if they're still even mildly sore, because I feel like then I can't get my full 100%, 110% output that day. So depending how my legs feel tomorrow, maybe I do legs, maybe I take a rest day. I don't know yet, but if I do hit legs, I definitely want to go back to the silver gym because I really, really want to try that hack squat machine that they have. Just because they have a hack squat machine where it doesn't have like the safety thing at the bottom. So you can get real deep with it. And that's one thing I always did not like about the hack squat at the green gym, is that the little safety bar that they have, I know it's there for your safety so you don't crush yourself, but if I'm doing a weight that I know I can handle, I want to go deeper. I want to go, what's that term they use? I want to go ass to grass on my squat. Why? I don't know if there's actual any added benefit, but it feels nice to me. When I get to that bottom portion of the squat and then really push up, I almost feel like I also have more leverage too, in a way where if like on the green machine one, I would get down to a certain point, since I have to shoot back up, it felt kind of awkward, like I wasn't in like a full ready to blast off Jimmy Neutron style position. But man, I've never been so excited for a leg workout. I actually didn't do calves today either. I thought about doing them, but I just thought, I don't even really do that many sets of calves right now. I think I do 2 to 4 sets. And I technically only do one exercise of it now, where I just do the seated calf raise versus, when I had the circuit where it was 2, 2, 2. Oh my god, there's so many cute dogs out right now. Oh, what a cute little critter that. There was 3 little tiny dogs. I even waved at the father holding on to the dog. What a good neighbor am I, aren't I? But I've arrived at my residence. Food is on the horizon. 50 to 60 grams of protein, another mysterious amount of carbs to replenish the fuel sources. And I think I like to call today pretty successful.